Good morning or good afternoon, depending where you're sitting, and thank you, Nicholas, for the introduction. Essential Metals has gone through a period of transition, and now we're running at full steam. Mid-year, we changed the name to Essential Metals to reflect the fact that we believe that mining and metals are an essential part of a sustainable future, and we've reinvigorated the management team and also the board. We're a diversified junior explorer, and that's what we are, and it's worked well. For the last 4.5 years, we've been focused on lithium. As we all know, lithium has been in a flat period for a number of year and a half, and we have got a very good lithium project, but our near-term focus is on gold. We also have a nickel project, which has a suspended nickel mine on it. We're well funded, and we've got a really broad and experienced management team and board. We're in the right commodities and we're in the right locations, predominantly Western Australia. As you can see, most of the projects are near Kalgoorlie and Norseman, and we also have a joint venture up in the Pilbara. As I said, we've got the right team and the expertise. We've got Paul Payne recently joined us, a very experienced resource geologist. Warren Hallam is a metallurgist, but very experienced as running big operations, and Craig McGowan is very experienced in capital markets. We also have a highly skilled geological team. We've had 2 gold explorationists join us in the last 3 months, and they're making some really good headway. So I'll talk to you just quickly about the golden part of our portfolio, and that's we have 2 100% owned gold projects, Juggler Dome and Golden Ridge. They're just southeast of Kalgoorlie, respectively 20 and 60 kilometres to the east, and they're in really good territory. As you know, real estate's very important in our game, and these 2 projects are in fantastic locations. We also have 3 joint ventures where we're free carried, so we've got 25 to 30% interest in these projects, and we don't have to pay anything until a decision to mine, i.e. discovery, feasibility has been completed. So that's really good optionality for us. And as you know, as a junior, we can't do it all ourselves, and we're partnered with really, really good high quality resource companies. So Juggler Dome, so that's about 60 k's east of Kalgoorlie, and it's nestled amongst assets held by Black Cat and Silver Lake. So Black Cat recently picked up projects to the northeast, northwest and north of us, and Silver Lake are to the south and to the west. Juggler Dome has been explored before, obviously, the likes of Western Mining and Placer and also Pioneer, which was the old Essential Metals, about 8 years ago. There's been some really good intersections hit on various prospects there. Nothing has been done, in our opinion, thoroughly, and we're going through the process now of reinterpretation, reprocessing data, and looking at the greater structural picture as well. And we've made some really good findings there. The sort of the standout, most obvious target for us to drill, and we'll be drilling this in 3 weeks, is the Guards prospect. It was drilled by Placer Dome in 2003. They put 1 panel across the outcropping porphyry, and this porphyry is over 1 kilometre long in strike length. It's fairly straight, and it looks fairly consistent in terms of our rock chips across the surface. I think from Placer's perspective, it was probably a bit small, grades of sort of 1.5 grams per tonne, and so they weren't interested to follow it up. We think in this current gold environment, it's well worth following up, and we've got a third party processing mill that's 50 kilometres away, so there's an easy process to develop this project if it stacks up. To the west of Guards, we have the Golden Shovel prospect. This will also be drilled in the upcoming drill program. This one hasn't been drilled since 1992, and we can't actually find the results of that drilling. There was a note in a Western Mining annual report saying that they recognised that it had been drilled, couldn't find the holes, and that's sort of where it got left. But there's some high-grade rock chips at surface. It's very similar structurally to Guards, and we're really excited to be testing this for the first time. The third prospect that we'll be drilling as part of this current program is the Moonbaker prospect. That's about 5 kilometres north of the other two, Guards and Golden Shovel. Some tantalising high-grade hits here. It's only ever been shallowly drilled. You can see there that some rab holes have gone through, to about 25 metres, just through the alluvial at the top, the fresh bedrock hasn't been tested, and that's what we're going to do. 2 RC holes were drilled, but we think they were drilled the wrong way, so we're not quite sure why, but we're going to test that in the next few weeks. As other people have mentioned, getting positions in labs is at a premium, so we're expecting our results to come through towards the end of January. We will try and lean on the lab to try and get some of the structural intersections released as soon as they can. Golden Ridge is 20 k's east of Cal. It's always been really a nickel project. It hosts the Blair nickel sulphide mine, and it's been held by Western Mining for most of its life, and Australian gold mines at one point. Sorry, Australian mines. There's a lot of drilling. Over 5,000 holes have been drilled, pretty much all for nickel. Only 20% of the holes are ever assayed for gold, and yet there are some pretty good gold targets and prospects located on this project. Of interest to us is a new discovery that's come through some recent soil sampling, geochem, and we've called it the AC75. That's the name of the boat that'll be competing, or the model type, in the next America's Cup. All the prospects are named after yachts. So AC75, as you can see on that picture there, sits out to the east. It's hosted in granites rather than sediments, which is important structurally for a potential bigger hosted deposit. We're still working that up. We would have liked to have fitted that into the current drill program, but we'd rather be patient, do some more work, and then hit that in the March quarter. Our 3 free carried gold JVs are Balagundi with Black Cat, so that's just north of our Juggler Dome project. Our Kangan farming joint venture with Novo Resources up in the Pilbara. We believe that's getting pretty close to going to joint venture phase. And also our Accra project, which is with Northern Star, and that's a very large project. They've spent $4 million over the last 4 years. But we also have a very good quality lithium project north of Norseman. It has a resource of 11 million tonnes at 1.21%. It's the metallurgical test work we've done to date shows that it it can result in a saleable quality product concentrate. The met test work will be wrapped up in the next few weeks, and we'll put some results out on that. But we've already indicated that we're getting results of recovery just under 70%, which is typical for a lithium DMS float hybrid circuit. We know that lithium's off at the moment. I'm a believer that it's coming back. It's probably towards the end of next year that I think sentiment starts to really pick up, hopefully sooner. And we also, on the Pioneer Dome project, completed the Sinclair cesium mine, which I won't go into too much detail. It's a very unusual metal, cesium. There's only 2 other commercial deposits that we know of in the world, and both of those have been mined out. It's very hard to find, and we're very fortunate to find it. But we will still look because we know that we're in the right geology to find cesium deposits. The Dome North Lithium Project was discovered in June 19, and we've had 3 drilling programs through it, and we're already up to 11 million tonnes. At the moment, we would like to keep drilling and spending a lot more money on it. We know that as a junior company, we've got to be a little bit more assiduous with how we spend our money, so our focus is on the gold. But at the right time, we'll come back and drill more here. We're of course doing more field work and low-cost reconnaissance, rock chipping, etc. And we're receiving a lot of interest in this project from market players. The Sinclair cesium mine, as I said, I won't go into too much detail. It was very successful for us. We mined it within 4 months, shipped out the product within 12 months, generated $10 million operating surplus. It's very small. It's only a 1 million tonne hole in the ground and 20,000 tonnes of product. So it's sort of micro mining. And we have drilled along strike to find more, and we have found more. We're just going through the process of modelling it all up to work out whether it's big enough by itself or whether we need to find more. Just briefly, the Blair nickel mine sits on our Golden Ridge project, so it's the one just east of Kalgoorlie. It's a suspended nickel mine, some pretty good grades at depth. It is open at depth. It's probably going to take a lot of money and a bigger partner to help us progress the nickel side of things. We can't do it all, but it's certainly a very good position to have, particularly as we head into what a lot of market pundits are calling is a bit of a nickel boom coming through. So why should you add essential metals to your portfolio now? Well, we're diversified. We're about to start drilling some priority targets at Juggler Dome. A lot of work is still to be done on these projects. We see a lot of upside. We've got diversified with gold and lithium, so we can ride different markets, and we've got a really good enthusiastic and experienced team on board to drive our projects forward. There's a team. It's only a small group. We've got other people, of course, that we call on from time to time, but we're all about excellence, working safely, working in a sustainable way, and of course trying to grow that share price. Thank you for listening.